and good morning. I'm Marty Martinson. I'm the head of the interior decorating team that has been requested to come in and do some alterations to the Oval Office in time for the incoming transition. Now, time is of the essence, okay? But I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you, myself and my team. We are here directly from Betty Ford, and we are going to find this a very special and challenging opportunity. Okay, first off, all of the artwork that you see, this magnificent artwork, it's all being removed. Now, it's coming back, so don't worry about that. But we are going to be putting a very specialized cling film on that. We find that our cling film formulation is very successful for those of our guests at Betty Ford that have some saliva issues, projectile with blunt objects, things that can really affect our national treasures, a projectile, proteins, this film works really, really well. Gosh darn it, you'll just wipe right clean. You'll never even know that there was vomit on there. Okay, now while those paintings and artifacts have been removed, okay, then that's when we're going to be coming in and this entire office is going to be padded. Okay, now don't worry about that because no one will know it's going to look exactly the same. We have a team that comes in here, we put the padding over top, and then we have our camouflage on top of that. We find that it keeps our guests at Betty Ford, it keeps them soothed, okay, to be around things that look familiar, okay, and that are part of their own reality. Now, the next thing that we find is very successful at Betty Ford is a combination of self-soothing and containment. Okay, so now what we're going to do is over here in this corner here, okay, right next to the big desk, that's where we have designed a very tasteful looking self-spray tanning booth. Now, we have partnered with some excellent biochemical engineers from, oh gosh, what is it? Hawaiian Tropic, Coppertone, Sherwin-Williams, and we couldn't have done it without those really helpful guys down there in Florida from Ringling. Anyway, that team got together and they made a formulation of the exact color match that we think is going to be a go. Okay, now that's part of the self-soothing. He'll go in there, that sprays on, okay, but while that's happening, while that tanning is spraying on, he's also going to be getting our second step, which is the containment. Now, the containment has been formulated by Dr. Hoof over here. He's an equine veterinary specialist. He comes to us all the way from the Kentucky Derby. And he has made a special sedative that can be taken either through up the nose, they just breathe it right on in there, or a tranquilizer dart for emergency situations. Now, we really haven't had a chance to test this, but Dr. Hoof assures me that it's going to be fine because of that one incident that he had with Anheuser-Busch back there, with that parade that went horribly wrong. The Clydesdales. We're pulling the Budweiser wagon, and oh gosh, those Make-A-Wish kids had their ride of their life. But thanks to Dr. Hoof, he took down that lead horse. Darn it, Dr. Hoof just brought him down like a rock. The next step is when he comes out of that tanning booth, then of course all we have to do is, because he's never going to be by himself, we hope, all he has to do is, put one finger on top of that Abraham Lincoln bust that's going to be on his desk. Now, then what we have done, it's very good. What we have done is you just put one finger up in the right nostril. Is it the right nostril or the left? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, it's both nostril compatible, which that's very clever. Okay, and you just stick your finger up there, and then what happens is it releases a lever underneath the presidential desk. You shove your fingers up Lincoln's nose, and then his little sleepy time bye-bye bed is going to pop out, because again, that's all part of the containment process, because Dr. Hoof assures us that he's going to need at least, oh gosh, what is it, Doctor? I get at least 6 to 8 hours of nappy time bye-bye, if we're lucky. And again, this is not to hurt him. This is not to hurt him. This is just for containment, okay? We soothe him from the episode, and then we contain him so the rest of us can really get some real work done. Okay, now, for the emergency purposes. All right, the other thing we have is I have enlisted the talents. He's worked for us at Betty Ford for years, okay? He was the #1 calf roper at the Calgary Stampede world record, okay? He can rope a calf in gosh, what is it, Russ, about four seconds? Yeah, 4 seconds. He's going to be here just a few steps out of the Oval Office. And the code word, okay, for whenever we need to call on Rusty is wall. All right, you just scream wall, and Rusty will come running. Okay, now the other two things that we haven't quite decided on how we're going to work them in because they don't really blend all that well is the stripper pole and the mirrored ceiling. So the mirrored ceiling is going to be up there, and it's two ways. So when he looks at himself, which he's going to do a lot, okay, because that's in your dossier of narcissistic personality disorder, he's going to look at himself, and it's going to look good because the gravity is going to pull his face back a little bit, you know, so he's going to be looking right on up there. And above there on the second floor, okay, now this is all classified, we have an observation deck for what is now, I'm proud to say, a waiting list of all kinds of people, mostly from the American Psychiatric Association. Any questions? Any answers? Well, we've seen worse, haven't we? We've seen worse, right? No? Well, we have at Betty Ford. We've seen worse, and we think we're the right team to handle this type of thing until they're better, until they're feeling better, so they can go out and do whatever it is they're doing. Okay, thank you for your time, and bye bye.